engineer turned management consultant who is now a full-time career coach and a content creator. She has worked with KPMG in India as an SAP associate consultant. She has impacted 5,000 plus professionals and students and amassed 1 lakh plus social media followers across all platforms and delivered a TEDx talk and three plus Josh talks as well. So, welcome and thank you for joining us today. Okay. So,
Hi Aditi, am I audible?
yeah, you are audible.
Perfect. Hi everyone. To everybody who's streaming it live right now, thank you so much for taking out the time and thanks for the lovely introduction, Aditi. I think I'm really looking forward to conducting this webinar since the topic is really interesting and I hope that it can help as many students as possible who are going to be watching us live and will be watching the recording later as well.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. So, before we start, if anybody has any questions, we'll be taking up all the questions towards the end of the live. So you can just share it in the chat box below. And yes, we'll dive right into the topic for today. Ma'am, you can take over.
Sure. So, firstly, again, a very warm welcome to everybody who is joining in here. Today's topic of discussion, which is building an impressive student profile using social media, is something that I find to be very, very interesting because as students of any stream that you are pursuing today in 2023, whether you're a BBA, BCom, BTech, MBA student, or doing anything else, mass media, communications, I feel for you to be able to have a good student profile, and when I say student profile, let me break down the word because I want to start the session with breaking that down for you. It means your presence across social media in any form or format. As a student, any kind of presence or footprint that you have on the internet is your student profile. Now, whether that is your LinkedIn profile, whether that is your Instagram profile, whether it is your Twitter profile, whether it's your Quora profile, whether it is your website, your own portfolio, or anything else, any kind of an interaction that you're having on the internet that's going to stay is your student profile per se. And it would be wrong for me to say that you don't need one today because you definitely need one. And the aim of today's session is for all of you to be able to understand how you can build an impressive student profile on social media, right? That's on our agenda for sure. I would also like to help you with tips with respect to how you can leverage LinkedIn the right way. And you can level up your game on LinkedIn as a student and what kind of a profile you need to build. So we'll be discussing that. And then we'll move on to hacks that you can use as students to showcase your strengths and build an even stronger digital presence and social media presence, right? And then we will obviously move on to Q&A. I'd love to answer all of your questions. So that's something we'll do as well. Now, on that note, let me start with showing you something very, very interesting, which is this pyramid. This is the current scenario on all social media platforms currently, right? So if you look at the apex of the pyramid, which is the top, you will see that only one, let's start from the bottom rather. Let's look at the bottom of the pyramid. You've got 90% people at the bottom, and they're called lurkers. These are people who are on social media. They have an account, right? But they don't engage with other people's content, nor do they like, share, or do anything. They are not interested in viewing content and they're not creating content themselves either. 90% of the people fall under this bracket. Neither are they creating content nor do they engage with content. The second category of folks are 9% of the audience, which is intermittent contributors. They come in the middle. What they do is they are at least engaging with other people's content and they're active, but they don't create or curate content themselves. And then at the apex of the pyramid, you have just 1% of contributors, which are called heavy contributors. And mind you, this is across all social media platforms, which means only 1% of the people are actually creating content and have an active profile wherein they are not just engaging with other people's content, but they're also creating something of their own. What this pyramid is showing and why I'm showing it to you at the beginning of this session is, as a student today, if you have to stand out from the crowd, creating content on social media and having an impressive social media profile is one of the easiest ways to do so. It may be a very heavy statement to make, but it is the reality. Students today, almost all the peers in your college, in your class, they'll be getting the same grades. They're graduating from the same college. They'll probably do similar kind of internships. They probably have similar communication skills as yours. Then how is it that you are going to stand out in an interview or in any scenario as opposed to 10 other people? Social media presence and having a good student profile is one way to be able to stand out from the crowd and come amongst the top 1%, as these statistics show. Okay. So, what I want to talk a little bit about is, as a student, when you talk about content creation and you talk about social media, you essentially have four pillars that you can take care of or you can resort to when you're thinking of creating content. It starts with obviously research. As a student, what you need to understand first is that if I am becoming active on any social media platform, whether it's Instagram, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Twitter, or anything else, the first step for you has to be research, because without research, you shouldn't be creating any kind of content or putting anything out there. And most of the people don't look into this step and they skip it. Even if it is around a niche or a topic you're very confident about, you're studying about it, you're doing a course around it, or you've practically done something in that field, research is still important. Don't skip that step. The next step is for you to actually plan your content, which is to understand what kind of content would you like to put out on that platform. Is it going to be videos? Is it going to be textual posts? Is it going to be tweets? Or are you just going to stick to photos, etc.? Whatever it is, or are you going to create reels if it's Instagram? So planning your content and understanding what kind of niche would you like to cater to is very important. And then you generate the content, which means you actually go ahead and shoot or you write the content pieces and the copies now. So you move on to the third pillar and then you deliver, which means you will actually go out there and post on social media. The fourth step is something which 90% of the individuals won't do. A lot of people will come up to step number 3, which is they'll research, they'll plan, they'll generate the content as well. But most of the individuals don't have the courage to go ahead and deliver and actually post on social media. So if you can get to the fourth step, it's great. Now, I want you to obviously take a look at this image, and there are a plethora of social media platforms that you can resort to and go to today. But I feel as a student, if you want to create an impact, starting with LinkedIn is the best thing for you to do. And I may be a little biased, but it's the reality. As a student, if you start creating a personal brand and a strong social media presence on LinkedIn, it can take you a long way. Okay. I want to start with telling you a little bit about LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn was started back in 2013, with two primary objectives. One was at that period, at that point of time, there were no online networking platforms. So if you wanted to meet anybody, for example, if I want to interact with Aditi and Aditi lives in Delhi and I live in Bombay, for example, the only way that I could think of meeting Aditi is set up a physical meeting and we can chat over a cup of coffee and meet somewhere physically. Because online meetings, उस time पे तब होती ही नहीं थी. There were no online meetings or no networking platforms. So Jeff Weiner, who was the back then founder of LinkedIn, thought that why not create an online professional networking platform wherein people don't have to exchange physical cards or meet physically, but they can meet online as well and break these boundaries of geographies. Right? So he thought ahead of his time. That was one reason he started LinkedIn. Second reason was, if you look at any social media platform, let's look at Instagram. You create reels there. Photos have also gone out of the picture now. People are just creating reels left, right, and center. It's become a video first platform, right? Look
Yes,
at
right.
YouTube. You're creating shorts, you're creating long form videos. It's all visual. There's no text. Let's look at Pinterest. It's images. If you look at Facebook, again, it's more heavy on images and videos. Snapchat is all about exchanging images. So there was no platform. And even today, if you look at X also, which was Twitter, which was called Twitter back then, yes, there is textual content you can post, but there is a restriction of characters. There are only 282 characters, right? So there's no platform wherein people could write at length on social media. Textual content was not being promoted. And LinkedIn's founder realized that why not help people who want to write on social media with this platform. So LinkedIn was started with the thought that people can write textual, long form textual content here. Obviously, the scenario has changed completely today. There are a lot more images and videos on LinkedIn also today, but that is the thought with which it was started back then. Now, slowly and steadily, what people realized is that's not it. That's not all that the utility of LinkedIn is. You can also post jobs on LinkedIn, right? Recruiters can look for talent on LinkedIn. Freelancers can look for clients on LinkedIn. Students can look for internships and jobs on LinkedIn. a businessman or a student or a working professional can build a personal brand on LinkedIn, right? And a content creator can earn money on LinkedIn also and build a personal brand today. So the use cases just started multiplying, and people had never thought of this. But today, LinkedIn is a professional networking social media platform. That's its definition, and it's helping multiple people in multiple ways. Not just students, working professionals, entrepreneurs, freelancers, solopreneurs. Everybody is using the platform to its own I would say utility and use case, and I would say the benefits are endless. Personally, I'd like to tell you that everything that I've been able to accomplish professionally in my career, apart from my job at KPMG, which I got through campus placements, has all been possible because of LinkedIn as a student. Okay. I started right after graduation. I would say I was still very late. And I always have that regret that why I started out late. So my fourth year was done. I was placed. I already had a job and an internship at KPMG. And right after graduation is when I became active on LinkedIn. And I feel that was fairly late to start. What I want to urge all of you here is to start as early as possible. The earlier you start, the bigger advantage you'll have, because I go to think now that I started in September 2020, almost 3 years ago. Had I started a little, and I've got so much out of the platform, had I started a little earlier, I would have definitely been somewhere else, right? So I feel the earlier you start, the better it is. Next thing I want you to understand is that LinkedIn, unlike most platforms, you may feel that being a student, why should you be active on the platform? And people get very overwhelmed on LinkedIn. One feeling that I've seen is that students feel that LinkedIn is very professional. Only accomplished individuals, startup founders, or working professionals can come here and create content or can be active. And if a student comes here and shares anything, you will be looked down upon. A lot of students feel very overwhelmed and they feel that they shouldn't be on a platform like LinkedIn. So I want to start with talking to you about this one thing, which is, don't think that if you're a student, you cannot be active on LinkedIn and you shouldn't have a LinkedIn profile or you will be looked down upon. Please understand one thing, it's a digital canvas or a digital profile for you to just share your thoughts and whatever it is that you know. It's not a resume. Your LinkedIn profile is not your resume. Yes, you do share professional stories and journeys, and you share a lot about your work experience and skills, and you can, get in touch with recruiters. But a LinkedIn profile's use case and utility is very different from a resume. Okay. A LinkedIn profile is a digital canvas or portfolio. A resume is used specifically to apply to a particular job. And a resume can be customized every time you're applying to a job. You cannot sit down and edit your LinkedIn profile every time you're applying to a job. Okay. So don't confuse between the two. Use your LinkedIn profile as an expression of who you are beyond your resume. I'll repeat this again. As a student, use your LinkedIn profile as an expression of who you are and represent who you are beyond your resume, right? Whatever it is that you've spoken about on your resume already, that is done. वो तो हो गया है. Now talk about things that you couldn't express on your resume, whether it's your hobbies, whether it's your passion projects, whether it is creating content around topics you're passionate about. See, as a student, don't think that you cannot create content on LinkedIn. And what is creating content? Creating content does not mean you have to become a content creator or you have to professionally pursue it. Please understand, when I'm saying creating content, it just means going ahead and posting on LinkedIn, right? Today, our Prime Minister, today our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, to people like Yuvraj Singh, to people like Priyanka Chopra, to people like Ranveer Alabadia, Ankur Warikoo, me, and so many other students create content on LinkedIn. We post on LinkedIn. Not all of us are doing this for a living, right? Narendra Modi does not need to create content on LinkedIn for a living, right? Nor does Priyanka Chopra. They are doing it because it's a great avenue to have a strong personal brand and get connects and be visible and have that kind of reach and connect. You as a student should do it because of three primary reasons. I'll tell you why you should create content on LinkedIn as a student. Number one, you get access to folks who have been there and done that. If you want to go ahead and become a management consultant at KPMG or a software engineer at JP Morgan Chase tomorrow, or work at Microsoft as a software engineer, it will be great to already be in touch with software engineers who are working at Google already, right? It would be great to be connected to them and understand from them what their trajectory has looked like. What can you do better? What mistakes can you avoid? And LinkedIn as a platform gives you access to those profiles and those individuals who are already doing what you want to do. Second reason why you should be active on LinkedIn and create content as a student on LinkedIn is because you get amazing organic reach and visibility. The moment you start sharing your first few posts, LinkedIn starts showing your content organically to a good set of an audience. Okay. And as you get, for example, if 1,000 people see your post today, tomorrow 2,000 people see your post, day after tomorrow another 3,000 people see your post. What that essentially does is, when your posts are being shown to multiple people, one or two people out of them, 1 month, 1.5 months later, will turn out to be recruiters, will turn out to be startup founders who want to hire you in their startup, will turn out to be managers who want to recruit you as interns in their firms. You never know. That's how you get visibility. And the third reason is that it's the most professional platform with the most educated and the wise audience that you can find on, as compared to any other social media platform. And that's the reality. Whether you compare a YouTube or an Instagram or a Facebook or a Twitter or a Snapchat, LinkedIn has got the most sophisticated, educated, and wise audience. And hence, as a student, if you're creating content there, you'll be able to create a strong personal brand which will be respected and reputed. Right? So I think once you start understanding why it's going to only be beneficial for you, it will also become easier for you to understand why you should have a LinkedIn profile and create content on LinkedIn, right? So those are 3 reasons why you should be doing so. But before you go ahead and start posting content on LinkedIn as a student or think about anything, I want you to look at this flow chart, right? It's very essential to look at this and understand that it's important to think before posting, right? Once you've decided, okay, I'm going to be active on LinkedIn, I'm going to post, you can't just blindly go there and start posting. Think before you post. Let's say a social media post idea comes to your mind. For example, you're a marketing enthusiast, you're taking up a marketing course, a digital marketing course from Google, and you're learning the concept of, let's say, social media marketing, SMM. And you just somehow want to write a post around social media marketing, right? So the social media post ideas come to your mind. Ask yourself this question. Does this have any value? Does this topic have any value for people? Yes or no? If yes, next question you need to ask yourself, does this fit the network's mission? By network's mission, I mean the platform's mission. So ask yourself that if I post something around social media marketing and how, or maybe I share 3 courses you should do if you want to learn social media marketing, should I post something like this on LinkedIn? Is it furthering the network's mission? If the answer is yes, then okay, ask yourself another question. Is this the best format for the post? Which means ask yourself, should I be posting this in the form of a video, in the form of a PDF, carousel, image, just a textual post? Ask yourself. Then further ask yourself, am I posting this at the best time? Which means, are people even going to be active to watch my piece of content right now? If you're posting at 1 p.m. in the afternoon when everyone is lazy, drowsy, going for lunch, going outside, hanging out with their friends during their lunch break in office, most of the people who are active on LinkedIn at that time won't even get access to your post, right? So it will not be right for you to post at that time. Ask yourself, am I posting at the time when most people will have visibility and access to my post? And then hit publish. However, if the answer to any of these one questions is no, then you'll have to change everything. Maybe choose a different topic or an angle. Maybe choose a different network to post. If you realize you want to post something around travel, or you want to create a travel vlog or a mini vlog about your journey to a place where you went for, let's say, an offsite or a trip with your friends, I don't think LinkedIn would be the best place to post or talk about it, unfortunately. You rather post that mini vlog on Instagram, right? So maybe choose a different network or a different platform. Then adjust your format, right? If you're talking about 3 tips to become a digital marketer, probably you can use a carousel, or you can also make a text post or an image post. But if you were to create a post around, for example, 3 ways that you can edit your portfolio as a video editor, I think being able to show that on video, on camera, via a proper 60-second reel or a video on LinkedIn will be great. So you need to adjust your format, change it to video and not static, and then schedule your post for a different time, just in case the time is not matching. So think before you post. Ask yourself these reflective questions before you post. Don't be in a rush to post. You may be having this very important question maybe in your head, and I'd like to answer that, which is, what do I post as a student on LinkedIn? So let me answer that for you. Understand one thing. Never bombard your audience with technical knowledge right away, which means if you are just starting out on your journey of becoming active on social media, don't start with giving technical gyan which nobody wants to hear from a student. Because the harsh reality is, if a third year student, and I'll take my example, I was 22 years old when I started posting on LinkedIn. Trust me, people used to, I mean, troll me in a way. They would say that now a 22-year-old girl is going to teach us how to make a resume, or a 22-year-old girl is going to teach me how to switch my career or prepare for interviews. And yes, it was disheartening. I won't lie that I did not feel discouraged. I won't lie that there were times I felt like I should stop posting on LinkedIn, and I felt overwhelmed because I was just a recent graduate. I graduated 1 month ago. So I was a student, I was in your place. But then I asked myself this one question: if I'm going to get affected by these folks so early on, I'm not going to be able to even discover the potential of this platform and what I have to offer. So I kept going somehow. Okay. But the point is, when you're posting on social media, on LinkedIn, if then I realized, you know what? Another reason why these people are not able to trust me with my tips is they don't even know who Dhairya Gangwani is. They can't relate to me. And I'm straight away giving tips on resume, career guidance, interview prep. Then I realized I need to first build a connect with the audience. So I started posting personal stories. I shared my journey, my challenges. The one post of mine which had gone viral almost 3 years ago, very initial video of mine, was how I did not get placed in my dream company, right? How I did not make it into my dream company. And that video resonated with so many students because they could relate to it. So I shared the journey of how I did not get a job at Cisco, and Cisco had always been my dream company to work at. So that connected with a lot of people. Then I started sharing my journey of how I got 25 plus paid internships while I was in college, right? How I got rejected by 60 companies before I got my first paid internship. So when I started sharing these things and my journey for 1.5 months, people started trusting Dhairya Gangwani and her journey and who she is and what she has accomplished and how she has accomplished. Then when I started sharing resume tips, interview tips, or whatever it is that I wanted to share, people were ready to believe. So the message I'm trying to give you here is, if you want to create content in the marketing niche, consulting niche, business development, sales, content writing, whether it is software engineering, any domain, don't start with the domain knowledge or technical content as a student. Never. Don't start bombarding them with, here's how you have to take care of writing clean code or optimized code, or these are the different machine learning algorithms. Don't. Start with your personal journey, build a connect, spend at least 2 months building relatability and connect with your audience. So share personal stories and challenges because people relate to it, and then move to your technical content. When it comes to your technical content in your niche also, where you want to build, an authority, have a ratio of 2:1, which means if you're posting 3 times in a week, 2 posts out of them should be personal stories, one should be technical content, always, right? Because that way, again, you will still be able to build trust first and then give a backing of whatever it is that you're talking about technically. That is what I feel has worked for me and most of the people I've mentored, right? So that is what I'd like to tell you. Okay, let's talk a little bit about things to keep in mind when building a social media profile in general. This is definitely applicable for LinkedIn and for most platforms in overall. Number one, have an attractive and a uniform display picture, which means if you have an account on Instagram, LinkedIn, and let's say, for example, Twitter, make sure and try that the display picture that you have put up on all three platforms is same, right? Don't have different display pictures across different platforms, because this is going to be an intentional activity to build your personal brand. So intentionally, you should have the same display picture across all platforms so that people have that brand recall value. Okay. And they keep remembering, oh, this person's picture, I've seen it here also, here also, here also. It's the same person. And then they remember you automatically. Okay. Second, have a clean and an optimized bio and a summary. So LinkedIn has got this section called headline, where you can put in keywords. Okay. You can put 133 characters. That's the limit. The moment you cross 133 characters, you cannot fill any text there. That headline section of yours is like a bio on Instagram, and it should have the relevant keywords for which you want to be searched for. Okay. So ask yourself this question, that when a recruiter is looking for someone like me to give them a job. So let's say you want a job as a software engineer. It's obvious they will type in the keyword software engineer, or they'll type in the keyword of the tech stack, whether it's Java or C or C++ or whatever they're going to hire for. So those keywords should be there on your bio and headline, right? Because they'll type those keywords and search for talent. So that's how you need to optimize your bio and your summary. Now, the summary section on LinkedIn is called the About section. About section on LinkedIn is a place for you to do storytelling. Okay. What kind of storytelling? Talk about your journey. Take them through your timeline. Where did you study from and graduate from? What were your top 3 skills or strengths that you built in this entire graduation period or undergraduation period? Then talk a little bit about your hobbies, right? Or things you like to do outside of work, outside of your educational degree. Talk a little bit about what kind of domain do you want to work in and why, right? What's your motivation to work in that industry, right? Maybe share a little bit about your other areas of interest or anything else you want to talk about, right? If you have your own website or a portfolio or any other profile you want to redirect them to, share that with them, right? So that's the role of a summary. Having an optimized bio and a summary is very, very important because keyword optimization takes place. And on LinkedIn also, you are being searched basis keywords, right? So you want to make sure that you've put in the right keywords in your headline, in your summary, and hence you are being searched for the right keywords. That's very, very, very important. Okay. Now, third thing, you have to have a well put, a well displayed, and explained banner on LinkedIn. LinkedIn provides you the space behind your display picture, which is green by default, to put up a LinkedIn banner. Okay. Most of the people don't have a LinkedIn banner, they leave it blank. Or what they do is they put up like a random logo of the institution they're studying at, or a random logo of the company they're working at, or they'll put up a very, very bizarre quote from Google, right? I've seen people mostly put images or quotes, right? I'm not saying that's wrong, but that's not the best way to have the banner space utilized well. So, how do you create a LinkedIn banner? It's important that number one, your LinkedIn banner answers 3 questions for people. Who are you? What do you do? How do you help people? When somebody looks at your LinkedIn banner, they should get answers to 3 questions. Who are you? What do you do? How do you help people? If they're not getting answers to these 3 questions, then it means your LinkedIn banner is not up to date, it is not well explained, and it is not well put, right? So it is your responsibility to make sure that the right kind of keywords are there on your LinkedIn banner related to the domain you want to build a career in, which answer these 3 questions for people. If you look at my LinkedIn banner, I've got keywords like career coach, founder, Dhairya codes, 500 plus talks, content creator. Why are those keywords there? Because they represent who Dhairya is, what does Dhairya do, how does Dhairya help people, right? Similarly, ask yourself, what are the keywords that will represent that for you? If you are somebody who wants to become a digital marketer, you should have the keyword aspiring digital marketer on your banner. You should have social media strategy on your banner if you want to get into social media marketing. Yeah, you should have SMM on your banner. You should have online and offline, social media strategies. Maybe you should have things like, for example, Instagram, LinkedIn, or whatever social media platform you are good at there as a keyword as well. If you want to become a business development executive, you should have keywords like business development executive, sales, keywords like lead generation, customer acquisition, etc. All of that should be there on your banner, right? So that's how you think about it. You can also put images or elements relevant to those keywords on your banner. That's another thing that you can do. Because when you put up images related to the keywords, it becomes easier for people to look at the images and easily understand that, okay, oh, this person is in the AI space, or this person is in the is looking to build a career in the digital marketing space or in the content creation space. So because human beings work well with visual content, visual memory is very strong for us, and the moment we see a picture or an image, we can connect better. Okay. Also, next step is engaging and value adding consistent content. Like I've already told you, just having an optimized LinkedIn profile, having a good banner, having a good headline, a summary, a good display picture does not help. You have to go one step beyond that and curate content in your niche and domain in which you want to be known for, in which you want to build a career, because that gives you visibility. I've already told you how that works. When you create different pieces of content on LinkedIn over a period of time, it's shown to the right set of folks, right? Hence, engaging and value adding content has to be created consistently. And the last step is you need to network and connect with people from diverse backgrounds. So on LinkedIn, you will find a lot of folks doing different things. And you cannot just stop at creating content. You have to be in touch and connect with, and I would say, network with the right set of folks who come from diverse backgrounds, okay? Who have got different perspectives, who have been in the industry for a while. Connect with them, learn from them, build a professional bond, right? Don't make it transactional. That's very, very, very important. Just give me 1 second. I'll stop sharing my screen. Okay. So yes, like I was saying, it's very important that when you look at social media and you're looking at any platform, you follow the 5 steps that we spoke about. Have a good display picture, have an updated banner, have an optimized and a clean bio and a summary. Make sure that you are, connecting with the right set of folks, creating engaging content and networking well. If you can keep all of these things in mind, you can make the most out of your profile on social media. Okay. On that note, I want to also talk a little bit about different kinds of, um, you know, content that you will see on social media and what kind of formats can you come across. Okay. So let me just do that. Yes. So I think my screen is visible at this point. I'll just continue. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
visible.
perfect. There are obviously different kinds of, uh, I would say, formats that you can create content in, and the different things that you can create around. But majorly, you will see on the internet, you'll see webinars like this one that is being hosted. This is also a content format. You are sharing knowledge about a particular topic, interacting with an audience, engaging with them. I'm going to be answering your live comments and looking at your chat, answering your questions. I'm catering to your needs, sharing knowledge. Webinar is a form of content on social media. Blog posts. If you're creating your own blogs and creating blog posts, whether it's on Medium, WordPress, your own, on LinkedIn or any other platform, that is another form of content that's very active on social media. Infographics, right? Which means text plus image based content. You would have seen there are a lot of, when you look at comics, right? Comic books, if you would have read, they are the best form of infographic content, which is there's images also and there is text, right? So infographics is another form of content you'll see on social media. White papers, not very common, but yeah, people who are creating extremely technical content, uh, for them, white papers are another form of content. Ebooks, right? That is another content piece that's floating on social media. Any ebook, digital PDF, cheat sheet, right? Digital products that are coming up. Videos. Obviously, we come across videos of all forms, short form, long form, whether it's YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, long form YouTube videos, podcasts, right? Podcasts are the new age form of content pieces that we're consuming, primarily audio on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and other platforms like Anchor. And then you have video casts, which are video podcasts, which you see on YouTube, right? People are posting the video footage of their podcast on YouTube. So these are different forms of content that are there. There are obviously a few more. If you look at long form or evergreen content, this is majorly applicable on LinkedIn. Long form written textual content, right, which was left out. Case studies. People have started sharing case studies and breaking down ads or a particular concept that a company followed or a particular brand and sharing their case studies or a person's case study, right? An entrepreneur. Listicles or checklists, right? Things like 3 tips to crack an interview, 4 ways to be able to build an effective resume. These are all listicles or checklist type content. Okay. That's another form of content marketing. GIFs or memes. Okay. A lot of people want to feel heard. They want content on the internet to be humorous. They want it to be light. And hence, GIFs and memes do very well as a content marketing piece, right? Email marketing is another form of content marketing and content that is doing very well. If you want to reach a huge number of people in one go and send across the same message to all of them, email marketing is a great way to do that. You can use tools like MailChimp to be able to schedule email marketing campaigns. Okay. Then you've got quizzes and contests. So another form of very interesting and another interesting piece of content marketing or content format is quizzes and contests. You can conduct quizzes, host polls, have contests wherein people can win goodies, prizes, etc. And that way you can engage with your audience. So this is another unique form of content marketing that is picking up pace. Okay. Now, just give me one moment. Yeah. Before we move ahead, one thing that I wanted to kind of cover, I think I forgot mentioning, that is when you look at content on LinkedIn, also understand that people are following you only for the value you add. Trust me when I say this. Somebody could be following you on Instagram or YouTube for XYZ other reasons. I'm saying that very openly. But when somebody follows you on LinkedIn, they're only following you for the value you have to add. Whether you're a student, a working professional, the prime minister, president, or the VP of a tech company. So if you don't have something valuable to add, people will not follow you. I have extremely influential people who follow me on LinkedIn, and I'm not even kidding. And they have no other reason to follow me than for the fact that I have something valuable to share and add value, and hence they follow me. So make sure that you're not repurposing content from Instagram and adding it here on LinkedIn, because that doesn't work unless it's speaking content, because your reels and your trending music videos will not work here, right? And people will not respect it as well. So as a student or as anybody else, make sure you are curating content which fits LinkedIn, right? And does not fit some other platform. Okay. Let me just share my screen again. Right. So now let's talk about 5 hacks to boost your social media engagement overall. First one is incorporate more visuals, right? We tend to retain visuals 4 times faster as compared to any textual content as human beings. Visual memory is very, very strong for us. So whether it's an image or it's a text or an infographic, if there's anything visual for me to look at apart from text, I will be retaining it better. So maybe double down on visual content wherever possible. Share more earned media coverage, which means anything that people are talking about, that's buzzing, that's the talk of the town. Currently, people are talking about, right? You should, I would say, take advantage of that news or of that information and try and share it as much as possible, right? I'll be very honest. See, for example, currently, a lot of people are talking about Sam Altman and how he quit OpenAI and then he joined Microsoft the very next day and then he has been hired again. And there was a lot of buzz a couple of days back around it. So it's obvious anybody who spoke about it right there and then, in that moment, you will get a lot of traction. Anything that's trending, anything that people are talking about right now will get traction. Okay. So understand the pulse of the market, be on the top of your game, understand what people are talking about, research very well, and share more of that. Focus more on your audience and less on your company. By company, it means less on what the platform or in general people want, right? Your audience, which is people who are consuming your content and are liking your piece of content, even if it's 5 people, focus more on what they want and not on the algorithm, right? Or not on what the larger audience wants. So always cater to your audience and your people. Focus on what they want to see. I knew back in September 2020, nobody was creating videos on LinkedIn. People used to say I'm crazy that I'm creating videos on LinkedIn. Today, I am the kind of creator I am, and people know me for my videos. My videos are the content pieces that got me my majority followers. Why I created videos, even though I was not getting a lot of traction or the algorithm was not promoting it, is because every time I would create a video, some student or working professional would DM me and say that, Dhairya, you know what? I went through this video of yours and it really helped me, and I used these tips in my interview and I landed a job. So I was looking at the impact that video was creating rather than the impressions and the likes. So I was not catering to just an algorithm. I was listening to my audience, and my audience was liking my videos. So I created more videos. Hence, focus more on your audience and less on your company or an algorithm. Post on LinkedIn more frequently. I would say start with 2 to 3 times a week. It's a good number to start with. At least post 2 to 3 times in a week. Then you can increase it to maybe once every day, right? But I don't think at any point of time it should come to posting 2 times in a day, 3 times in a day. A lot of people do that. I think that's just not feasible. It will take a toll on your mental health and mental well-being. It's not needed. If you can post even 5 times in a week, that's more than enough. Start with 2 to 3 times in a week. Make your post more interactive, right? Which means demand engagement from your audience. Ask them probing questions so that they answer those questions in the comments. Maybe share a template with them so that they ask for the template and ask you to share that template. Anything that drives more engagement, maybe polls, surveys, quizzes, trivia. So ask questions, do things that will drive more engagement, because the more interactive your post will be, the better signaling will go to the algorithm that people are interested in this. The more people are interested in this, you will get more traction. And if you get more traction, you will get more opportunities. It's as simple as that. Every opportunity I've got, I've been able to back 5 internships via LinkedIn. I get one job offer every single month from LinkedIn, even though I'm not looking for a job. I am an entrepreneur. I run my own business now. But even when I was doing a job with KPMG, and even today, I get one job offer every month. Why? Because I have made myself visible and accessible. I am creating one piece of content every single day on the internet, and I put it out, and hence 2 or 3 new people observe me, and then 1 or 2 people out of them want to reach out to me and offer me a job because they feel I've got the right skill set. They go and check out my profile, they find it credible, they maybe check my skill section, they check my about, they check my recommendations, and they feel she would be the right fit. What I'm trying to tell you is opportunities will not come to you. You'll have to create that opportunity for yourself by being active on LinkedIn, by creating the right set of content, by having an optimized profile, by creating interactive posts, by networking with the right set of folks, right? But when you'll do all of this, trust me, everything will work. And it takes time. I would say you will have to give it at least 3 to 6 months. But if you can do that, you will be set. Okay, now how do you build a content strategy as a student? Ask yourself these few questions. Who is your audience? Who do you want to cater to? Who are the people who you want should come and watch this post? Right? How? How do you want to share the knowledge you want to share? Do you want to do it via Instagram, via LinkedIn, via Facebook, Twitter? Choose a reliable channel. Why? Know your objective. Are you creating content because you want to become a content creator in the future and earn money? Are you creating content because you want to pursue it as a side hustle? Are you creating content because you want to get visibility in recruiter networks on a particular platform and land a better job? Are you creating content because you want to create a personal brand? Your why has to be clear to you. Your why could be anything. No why is wrong, but your why should be clear to you. When? What time do you want to connect with this audience? Do you want to post in the evening, in the afternoon, in the morning, in your free time? Right? It's not about what time works best. It's about what's going to work best for you and why do you want to choose that time? What? Draft a relevant message. Whatever it is that you're curating and sharing, does that add value? Does that even make sense? Do people even want to view something like that? Is there a need, or can you just do without posting? Every time I'm about to post, I ask myself this question. What if I don't post this and I don't hit on the publish button? Will the world be deprived of something? And if the answer is no, I just don't post. If I don't have one new perspective or my own opinion to add to a topic, because say everybody has spoken about everything. You won't find a new idea or a new topic every day. Okay, everything is spoken about already. No idea is unique. Everything has been solved for. But if you don't have even one additional point to add from your end, which makes it unique to you, then to don't post only. Okay. Then where? Target the location. Are you going to cater to people just in India? Are you going to cater to a global audience or to people in the US and India? So understand the location also and then build your content strategy. This is a good way to look at it. This is a Venn diagram. Your unique brand. You are a personal brand. Each one of us is a personal brand. Okay. We represent certain values, certain ethics, certain emotions. And that's our brand purpose. Right. Then there is our consumers or our audience or the people viewing our content want something from us. Now, what you want to create in terms of your brand purpose and what your audience wants, when the both of them intersect, that is what proper content marketing is, or that's when you can build a good content strategy. So create unique content. Don't copy paste. Don't you can take inspiration from other people's content. You can choose the same topics, but it should be unique in terms of the value you're providing. Choose the correct content format, right? Solve your audience's problems via your content and publish it on the right channels. Once you do all of that, you will seem to realize you're falling at the intersection of the perfect ikigai, which is you're being able to hit a chord between what your consumers want and what you want to do as well. Right? The last thing that I want to talk about before we move on to answering your questions and we'll move to Q&A is a 5-step effective content strategy for all of you. First thing first, align your content with the customer or the client or the audience journey. Identify the topics, the needs, and the questions that your content will address. Whatever niche you're going to create your content around, ask yourself what questions are you going to answer for your audience? What problem of theirs are you going to solve? Then do a content audit. Audit your existing content to determine what can be used as is. So if you have already been creating some kind of content, something's on your mind, ask yourself, is there anything out of this that you can use as it is? Right? Is there anything that you can tweak and update and use? Right? Or will you have to create content from scratch? Then create a production plan. Determine the genre, the domain, the niche, and the format of each piece of content that you want to put out. Identify who will be the people who will be viewing your content. Will they be thought leaders? Will they be subject matter experts, authors, students, working professionals? Identify your audience. Then determine the objective of each piece of content and how performance will be tracked. So, what KPIs do you want to set for yourself? Will you look at the impressions? Will you look at the views? Will you look at the saves, shares, the comments you get, or the DMs you get after that piece? That's your personal choice. Choose your own performance measures. For me, the most important performance measures were comments on my post and DMs. I used to measure performance that way. You can choose your own. And the last step is build a distribution plan. Identify what online and offline channels will you use, right? Will you be posting a WhatsApp story to promote your LinkedIn post? Will you be posting your LinkedIn post as a story on Instagram as well? Will you be sharing it with your cousins and friends and on your WhatsApp groups of your close knit circle as well? So, what online and offline channels will you use to make sure this content is being distributed to the right set of people, at least initially in your content creation journey, right? That is extremely important. And with that, I think that's pretty much about it with respect to what I wanted to cover and how you can build an impressive profile and create content as a student on social media. Thank you so much for listening to us, guys. Um, Now, I would like to open up the floor for answering the live questions that we have, Aditi. So maybe you can start sharing all the
Yeah,
questions come our way. Yeah.
yeah. So we have a few questions. So I'll start with Mohit asks that can someone earn from LinkedIn?
Very good question. You most certainly can, Mohit. Uh, I've quit my job on the basis of that. I am a LinkedIn creator primarily. I do create on Instagram as well, but YouTube I've started just 2 months back, and YouTube is not paying me any kind of money. Instagram, yes, here and there from brand collaborations, but not much. So what I'm trying to tell you is 95% of the revenue I make as a career coach, which is my journey as an entrepreneur, and also what I'm able to make from brands or affiliates or any other brand engagement I'm doing uh, is coming through LinkedIn. So it is possible. You can earn money on LinkedIn by getting paid gigs. So all of these public speaking gigs, talks, seminars that I do are paid, right? I do that full time because that's what I do for a living. And I get all my leads through LinkedIn. I do brand endorsements for products and services that I believe in, and brands pay me on LinkedIn. I'm also an affiliate for a lot of edtech startups, wherein for every course that is sold using my coupon code or my affiliate link, there's a certain commission that I get paid. That also happens on LinkedIn. I have sponsored talk shows, which a lot of brands sponsor, and my LinkedIn audio events on LinkedIn. That's a new channel that I've just tapped into just a month or two back. I don't think a lot of creators are being able to do that, but I've been able to do that. And yeah, there are a lot of other ways you can sell your own digital products, your own course, your webinar, your one-to-one mentoring sessions, whatever it is, you can promote through your LinkedIn posts, and then you can get leads for your, for your services. You can also most certainly get leads for your freelance work as well on LinkedIn. So definitely you can make money on LinkedIn.
Okay, great. I think we've answered that question. Another question is if I'm a student, then what I can share on LinkedIn? This question is asked by Saurabh.
Yeah. I did kind of answer that, but I'll repeat that for you, Saurabh. As a student, first start with building relatability and connect. Because whether you're in your first year, second year, third year, or an MBA student, or in your fourth year of engineering, nobody is going to trust a lot of gyan coming from you first. So don't get into the technical aspects of whatever it is that you want to share. Pehle connect banao, relatability banao, share your personal challenges, your story, what you are learning from your peers in college, what you're learning from a course. Talk a little bit about your failures, etc., and build that connect in a month and a half or 2 months. After that, start talking about technical content, whatever it is around the niche you want to build a career in. If you want to go ahead and let's say become a video editor, start talking about technicalities of video editing 2 months into your journey of sharing personal stories. And then you can start creating content around video editing, right? How to become a video editor, what softwares to use, how to edit a video, an educational video or a long format video, or how to make sure you understand color psychology for a brand as a video editor. You can come up with different topics and then start creating technical content. But yeah, that's the roadmap you should follow.
Okay, great. There's this another question asked by Happy. Can images from someone else's platform is a good idea to post on LinkedIn if it's a good thing to share?
See, if you're taking images from the internet, it's important that you don't have any copyright issues. So you should always mention the source on LinkedIn. But if you're taking images of a person or an individual without their permission, that's not a good thing to do. Always seek permission, reach out to them, let them know you're going to be writing a post about them and using so and so image. Can I do that? Get consent, get their approval, and only then use images, is what I'll say. The best way is to always cite the source from where you're taking the image, right? Just to be on the safe side.
Okay. Happy has asked another question is how to write good post if I'm not too good at writing.
Got it. See, Happy, what you need to understand is it's okay if you're not good at writing. A good LinkedIn post is not one that's very fancy or that's, how do I explain? Written very well or looks like a writer has written it. A LinkedIn post that works well is one that is relatable, that has got a story, that has got a message and a call to action, a CTA. So your post should start with the right hook, right? The first two lines using which you're attracting the audience to read the post. To click on the read more button on LinkedIn, you have to be very careful about. You have to make sure they're intriguing the right set of audience. They're making them stay on the post and read it till the end. You have to make sure you're doing good storytelling. Share personal stories, give examples, use anecdotes. People relate to those things. Don't make your post boring and very lengthy and filled with paragraphs of text. Make it readable and skimmable, right? Short one-liners. It could be lengthy then, but one-liners people can skim through, right? And always have a call to action. They should know, either leave them with a question to answer, either ask them a question, or tell them that this is where they need to go, or check out this, or go there, or do this, or do that. A call to action for them, some action for the user to take, is very important for them to take you seriously. Okay. If they spend a minute or two reading through your post, you have to give them something to go back to. Hence, a CTA, call to action, is very, very important. So that's how you can create a good post. And apart from that, if you want to make it interactive, like I said, try and create videos. Try and experiment with different types of videos, different lengths of videos. Um, Ask questions, do polls. You can create polls on LinkedIn. Yeah, maybe use different formats like LinkedIn audio events, LinkedIn video events. So all of that will be great.
Okay. Another question is how to stay on track and know what's trending. I think this is the question where you said that a trendy topic to cover, right? I think it's related to that part.
See, you cannot always be on top of what's trending and what's happening, and you cannot always know what's going on. But I think in general, if you're slightly aware, in shorts ka app, Times of India ka app, ET Now ka app, ET Times Now ka app, if you just download and you just read through the daily headlines, just read through the headline jo upar aati hai, right? I'm not even telling you to read through the news. You'll at least know what's happening. And also, I feel just being active on LinkedIn and engaging with people's posts is also a great way to stay on top of the news, because the moment there's something, people start posting about it on LinkedIn. People are very quick. The moment the news is out,
Right.
someone can leverage that opportunity and start creating a post on it ताकि उनको traction आ जाए. So I feel if you want to stay on top of any kind of news and be relevant today, you have a lot of platforms. You can subscribe to the newsletter of Times of India and other news channels as well. If you don't like watching news per se, typically switching on the TV and going to news hour, I don't like that either. I just have the InShots app. I go through the 60 headlines every single day, and so that I just have an idea of what's going on in the sports world, what's happening politically, what's happening in the entertainment space, what's happening otherwise. So that's something you can do, and I think that should help.
Okay. We have another question by Varidhi. She asks, how can I decide my domain on LinkedIn? I'm in class 12th and I'm interested in website development and designing, but I'm still not sure.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Harini, start with your personal stories and your journey first. Then start creating content around designing and website development both. Don't choose a niche right away. These are two things you're interested in right now. You're just in 12th grade. You don't need to panic. You don't need to worry. Time is your best friend. You have that advantage. Use it to your advantage. Start creating posts around designing and website development both. Do it for about 3 to 4 months and then sit back and analyze. I would say metrics wise, data wise, response wise, and personally, which one are you enjoying more? What are you liking more? Where do you see yourself? Maybe doing something 5 years from now and having a career in that field, and then double down on and start creating more posts only around that one niche. That's how you will be able to find your niche. You can't find your niche by already deciding your niche. You'll have to experiment, you'll have to try, and then you will be able to find your niche, Harini. I started with creating content around marketing, strategy, consulting, then resume, social media, everything. Okay, सब try किया. And then I realized anything around career development and professional growth and these personality development related tips is what people are liking the most. And I am also enjoying the most. And hence I stuck to that niche then. So experiment and then narrow down.
I think that's a great tip to share. We have another question. Sorry, I lost it. Uh, Saurabh asks, we have to share our works and achievement only, or can we also share our moments on LinkedIn for engagement, as lots of people are doing now?
Should I share?
Uh, should I also share our moments on LinkedIn for engagement, as
Movements.
lots of people are doing now?
What's
And that's what.
movements?
Uh, Saurabh, can you write what does the question like? We did not get your
I'm
question.
slightly
We
confused.
can, yeah, he can. Saurabh, if you're listening to the live, you can just rewrite your question. We can take up another question. Um, okay, let me see. Sorry, just.
Sure, no problem.
Actually, there are a few questions which we've already answered. Okay, got one question. It is asked by Mohit. How to reach out for people since it's paid, and basically I think what the question means is how can I reach to people on LinkedIn since there's a feature. I think it's talking about premium, and he says since it's paid, I'm not able to afford it. So how can I share message with people? Like how can I text and connect with people since that's a paid service? I think that's what it
First thing you need
means.
to understand is that to connect with somebody or to talk to them, you don't have to necessarily have a premium account. Okay. What a premium account does is number one, it gives you access to sending an in-mail to anybody. In-mail is a feature on LinkedIn wherein you can drop a message with a subject line and send it to their email and send it to their LinkedIn DM both in one go. So you're targeting two places in one go. So the I would say the probability of them reading your messages increases. That's one ability you get. You get in-mail credits for free when you take a premium version. Second thing is you get unlimited searches on LinkedIn. So you can search for unlimited number of people. Your profile views is not restricted to just the last 90 days. For 1 month ago, you're able to see farther away and it doesn't stop. You can keep seeing everybody who's viewing your profile, right? You get some additional filters that you can filter via. Then you get some access. You get access to certain data when you're applying for a job. Like you get to know whether you're amongst the top 10%, top 5% of the applicants. You get to know if your resume has been downloaded or are you shortlisted or it's into screening. You get to know if how many percentage of the people who have applied for that particular job have done an undergrad versus postgrad degree. How many skills of yours are matching with the JD, etc. Right. So that's one thing. Now, do you really need a paid version or is there a bias that's given to people who have a premium? No. There's no kind of a bias or an advantage or extra capabilities that people get who have a LinkedIn premium. If you want to reach out to somebody who you're not connected with on LinkedIn, the best way is to send them an in-mail. Yes, in-mail requires you to have a premium version, but another way is you send them a good personalized note or an invite, which is very customized, very well researched, which they cannot resist and they are forced to accept your connection request. The moment they accept your connection request, you will get access to their email ID. Once you have access to their email ID, you can drop them a good cold email and do cold outreach instead of reaching out to them on LinkedIn itself, where their inbox will be flooded with multiple messages, right? So I would recommend that strategy to you.
Okay. I think we'll just take up this last question and we'll wrap the session up. The question is how to find content on regular basis on a single topic or subject.
It's not possible. It's a genuine question. It gets difficult after a point of time. I've been creating content in career development and professional growth for 3 years across two platforms now, three, and it's very difficult. The only way you can keep getting ideas is uh, ask people around you. I keep asking my relatives, my friends, my cousins, my mother, my parents, everybody, my sister about topics. Second thing is I keep asking my audience questions on Instagram, and I get to know from them what is it that they want to hear from me, right? On what topics would they want me to create content? Or you could always conduct a poll on LinkedIn also and ask your audience what kind of content are they looking for. And the other way is today you've got AI tools that can help you with unlimited content ideas in terms of topics at least. I'm not asking you to go and tell ChatGPT to write your article copy or your post copy. But you can ask ChatGPT for content topics and ideas for sure. It's a great way to use it. You can go to askthepublic.com and get unlimited questions around a particular topic that the audience has to ask, and then you can use those questions as content pieces to create content around, right? So those are a few ways in which you can always have topics around which you have something to create.
Okay. Saurabh had one more question, and I think you also answered that. He asked if using AI tool for post is correct or not, and I think you've covered that as well as what's the limit to use it. So,
Yeah, I mean, you use it for reference, for structure,
yeah.
for context, for ideation, maybe, or if you're getting stuck somewhere. However, the soul of the post, the relatability, the examples, the tonality, everything should come from you. Only then will you stand out as a content creator, or else aap hi khud socho. Everybody can do the same
Mm,
thing right there.
right. Everybody can use AI tools for like LinkedIn and any other
Yeah.
copy. Yeah. Okay. So thank you, Saurabh, for asking the question. With this, I think we've come towards the end of the session, and I want to thank you for sharing your expertise and like taking out the time to join us today for this live. I think this live has been very helpful to a lot of students who would want to, who are at the right time where they can start their LinkedIn and start building their social media presence that is going to help them. So I hope we've answered all the questions. And
Yes.
if you have any more questions related to your career that you need to ask, there's a QR code on your screen and it will take you to our web app. There you will be able to see an Ask Me Anything option where you can get answers directly from our expert counselors. So you can go ahead and explore. Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
No, thank you so much for having me, Aditi. Thanks to all of you who are watching in live and have stuck around till the end. And in case there are any further questions, any queries, you can always feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn as well. Happy to help. And I really hope that these tips help you and you go back and implement them on your LinkedIn profile and then utilize them and build a good social media presence. Thank you so
Right.
much.
Thank you. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below to stay updated. We do this weekly career classes every Saturday at 4 p.m. So we hope you find this session valuable and thank you all for joining in. We look forward to seeing you next Saturday at 4 p.m. Thank you. Thank you all for joining in. Look forward